just a bunch of nerds who are thirsty for some sweet, sweet D&D. I'm a first-time DM, and my adventurers are brand new, so this is our Real Play 5e D&D podcast. Expect some ridiculous voice acting, like the worst, and some really awesome moments, and some really interesting moments, and just friends having fun together. This is our story, as it is much yours, so welcome. Welcome to Saving Arcana. 2, 1. Hey, what's up, you guys? That was horrible. Elrick was like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? I forgot. My bad.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Saving Arcana here. All right, so our adventurers, our last session, we actually had an off podcast session, so I want to give a quick rundown of what happened. Our adventurers poofed into the courtyard back into Haven, but were quarantined as per protocol for when the twin sisters teleport home to Haven. After 24 hours of waiting, Malcolm decursed you, and all of your tattoos were cursed from Fairtu. If you remember, that was the boy. After being decursed... Fairtu? Yes. Okay. After being decursed, the flame chicken all of a sudden didn't have to sing anymore when talking, and it just ran away, which you guys let it. Ava is having some armor made by a local blacksmith. Voquis was looking for a cloak and ends up finding Archibald, which he made fun of her, and then ends up giving her a handmade magical cloak. Ava grabbed a couple of healing potions from a sleeping merchant and paid the exact amount, like a good citizen. Elrick healed some of the goblins that were taking refuge inside of Haven. He actually healed a young goblin boy and his broken leg, and so the father of the broken leg boy gave him a bag of healing herbs, which ended out to being a greater healing potion. Strange purple light appeared around 2 a.m., and Ava was the only one that noticed it, and actually after looking outside of the window, saw that it touched down like a rainbow a couple miles east. Other patrons did see this as well. The next day, the adventurers are leaving by cart to head east to take care of the gnolls who ravaged the goblins, and a guard stopped them. The guard invited them to a ball, which will be held in their honor 5 days from now. The woman and child that they had saved from the cultists are the wife and daughter of a local lord of Waterdeep. And this is where we begin today's adventure. We're back for another one. I'm your DM, John. Go ahead and start us off. Voquis, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm playing Voquis, the Firbolg Ranger, level 3. And she's super excited about her new cloak. So excited.
You guys don't understand how rough it was to get you that cloak. It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Elrick, what's up?
Hey, ladies, it's your boy. I'm playing Elrick, Firbolg Druid. Name's Trent, by the way. Forgot about that part.
What's your number?
Yeah.
Just put the hell on there.
My number is...
Tinder link in description below.
Swipe right when you see it, Firbolg.
There'll be a link to my Instagram.
Yeah. Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, but
it will.
Making one
Anything
just for
else?
you ladies.
no.
Nah. All right. Ava, what's up?
Hey, Luis here playing Ava. Good to be back.
Fair enough. And I'm your boy, John, your DM. And let's go ahead and get right into it. I just told you about the rundown from last time. You guys ended exactly inside the cart. I don't exactly remember who was where inside the cart, so you guys can place yourselves where you want.
I remember I'm hungover.
Yeah, that's right. You're hungover, sleeping in the back.
Yeah.
And Elrick, I think you were driving the cart.
I think I was driving.
Ava's just doing Ava things. The guard has now walked away from you guys, as you had already talked to Nathaniel. We'll just play it that you already talked to him. And what would you like to do now that you're kind of in the middle of making a decision on whether or not to go east, to stay? What would you guys like to do?
Well, I think we should go east and check out that weird rainbow you saw, Ava.
Yeah, we were gonna go east, check out the light damage, and then come back for the party.
The party's...
So the party that they're speaking of is happening 5 nights from now. So this is Tuesday. So it's going to be happening Sunday night.
Sweet.
So in
It's
that
a weird time to have a party.
Sunday night? I don't think so. Do you think so?
I think so.
I don't
Maybe
think so.
Saturday?
It's the Lord's
Alright.
Waterdeep, man. They want to do
Yeah.
what they want to do.
Yeah.
They do what they don't work.
They can drink
don't got
at any time. They don't got a 9 a.m.
They
job.
don't got a 9
Yeah.
to 5.
Their 9 to 5 is
Some
being
of us have
rich.
to adventure in the morning.
It's true. They don't have jobs. So you guys are going to go ahead and start
Yeah.
moving that way? Great. So The direction that you saw out the window was purely east. In Waterdeep, there's a northern, southern, and an eastern gate entrance and exit. So if you guys want to head that way, just take a few minutes to get to there. The Waterdeep itself is bustling. There's a lot of merchants out today. There seems to be an influx of people coming in from out of town. Remember a couple sessions ago, some things might have happened in a nearby or far land that had to deal with some portals. As you guys are walking and, not walking, but riding and listening, there is actual chatter with your passive perceptions that you're picking up. Tidbits about some mages, you hear portals tossed around just a few times. There's a lot of people. It's very crowded as you're getting closer to the gate. As most cities, a lot of the merchants are right next to the actual gate. People coming in, that's where you want to sell your wares. And there's all sorts of wares, weapons, clothing, any type of strange woven little, handkerchiefs and just different things you would have in your household. Anything you could possibly think of. There is a portion of about 5 to 6 little stands, if you may, of it seems to be people that are not of this town. They have wares that are from far lands. Everyone else seems to have the same type of stuff as you've seen before. These seem to be traveling merchants. The traveling merchants come and go, but their wares always change. As you guys are making your way to the gates, is there anything you want to do?
Nope.
Just making your beeline.
So for the traveling merchants, do we see anyone that has any health potions?
Health potions aren't normally something that traveling merchants keep, at least with... Go ahead and roll a perception. Maybe there's a specialty one.
19, I believe.
With a 19, you actually do. Of the 5 traveling, the next to last one, there is a merchant that seems to have some vials. And with a 19, it does look like some type of healing potion or something close to it.
Hey guys, let's stop and grab some more healing potions.
Whoa.
That was the sound of getting rid of...
That was the sound of me stopping oxen.
That's amazing.
I don't think you talk to
Whoa.
oxen. I think you just kind of
Whoa.
I talk to him because I talk to animals.
Yeah, he has speech with beast and leaf. That's what oxen
I have,
say.
I have beast speech,
Yeah.
pretty much. They
Okay,
understand
so
me,
you approach this
and I
cellar.
understand them.
Yes.
Okay.
How many bodies?
Go ahead. So with your 19, I'm just going to run with that. With your 19, what you see is a 50-year-old-ish male half-elf weaver. He's selling a lot of different woven types of baskets and quivers, very distinct and a different kind of artisan that is not of this land. And at the end, he has 3 vials. 2 of them are red in nature and 1 that is green. He has very long, wavy, silvery hair, blue eyes, rough silver skin, and he's about 5 foot, so he's not very tall. You guys will be looking over him. He has a sharp handlebar mustache, and he looks over at you and goes, "What can I get you guys? Anything that looks good?"
Can you tell me about these vials that you have over
Oh,
here?
yeah, those are the 2 on the end. Premium, brought it from the far lands myself. It's healing potions. Is that something you would be care to look at?
Yeah, and what about the green one?
Well, how much money you got?
I've got money.
That's good. It's my most expensive piece. You see, I've got some baskets and a few other things, but that potion's gonna cost you. It's a potion of invisibility. Doesn't look like you're too interested in that one.
How much?
It's only gonna cost you 100 gold.
And how much for the healing potions?
45 a piece. We are in a town of bartering and selling. If there's something that you might have, or, well, quite frankly, I mean, if there's something extra, I do have some things we could talk about.
See, yeah, let's talk about some things.
Why don't you step back on behind here and I'll talk to you. I don't want to... He looks around real nervously looking, and he does make eye contact with one of the city guard, and he kind of steals his attention back to you. Come around back real quick. Your other people can come too.
Yeah.
Just don't make a ruckus.
I'll wait in the cart.
Yeah, cover us.
I'll go.
Okay. He's gonna take you guys behind that little stall. Your butts can be seen from the road. I mean, there's not much cover.
Am I like above it? I'm like 6'6".
You're not above it, but you can definitely see that there's people behind this small stall where there's no one else behind the stalls. And he gets in close and motions for you guys to get closer, and he goes, I'm kind of in a pickle. You see, I have some extra wares, and he makes air quotes with his fingers, and I really need to get rid of them. Otherwise, someone's going to break my left foot. And if I don't sell enough of it, I'll make a deal.
I'm sorry, what did you say, break your left foot?
I like my left foot. They already broke my right foot when I couldn't deliver last month. So
Is it drugs?
Is it drugs?
It's drugs.
Regardless of what it is, my deal is, if you give me 90 gold, I will give you the 2 potions, and then can I please give you some of this? I can't get rid of it, and I need to get rid of it. I need a...
Okay, first of all, what's your name, good sir?
Oh, it's Dorphil.
Dorphil.
Yeah, I don't want to be doing this, but they got my wife and kids, and so I kind of have to just make do with what I got.
Who has your wife and kids?
The local dealers. They hold everyone's kids and people whenever we don't make our deliveries. So they took my wife and child last week. And well, I gotta make my deliveries, but I just need you to sign this paper and take some of my product. I don't care what you do with it after that. Just, I need to show that I sold some of it.
Can I see the product?
Sure. And he takes out a little pouch, and inside the pouch, it is crystalline, purple, and green, and it's a fine powder, but it's got a very, very large shimmer. He goes, 1 sniff of this, you will be skyrocketing it all day. I promise you that.
What's meth?
Speedballs.
It very might well be the D&D equivalent to meth, but you never know.
Speedball in it.
It could
She's super interested in this powder.
Give it
She's
to
super
Ava.
interested.
Just buy it and
she'll
throw
get
it
jacked.
away.
It'd be great if I could just have you sign this paper, and I
Yeah.
can...
All right,
I
I'm
need
gonna
to-
speak. I'm gonna just kind of like push you to the side because you're right. I'll be like, okay, how about we get all the potions and we'll get some of this off your hands for 100 gold.
Oh, that'd be great. I can't sell it all at once, otherwise it'll throw up a big red flag. But I can give you 2 pouches, 100 gold, and both those, that's no problem at all. That would help me out a lot. But you got to sign this paper, though. You got to sign the paper.
Can we get all 3 potions?
The 2, not all 3. You're trying to swindle me, aren't you? It's just one snap of my fingers. I can have those guards over here, and they'll take you straight to jail.
And then they'll take you straight to jail for your mess.
And your family will die.
Okay, well that's fair. I don't want that to happen. Didn't think that went through. My bad. But yeah, 100 gold. I give you those 2 potions, and you take these 2 bags, and it'll help me out a lot. And if you know anybody else that might need a little pick me up, send them my way. I'm here every Tuesday.
It's like, okay.
Every Tuesday.
And I was like, okay, pay them in and then I'll sign for it.
Ooh, wait. I pulled her to the side and I was like, if we're paying 100 gold for 2 of these potions, that's more than asking price.
Because we're getting the super nice one too.
No, we're not. He just
No.
said we're
Just-
trying
just
to...
the 2
just
healing.
The 2.
Just the 2 healing.
Yeah.
And I was like, how about
And then I hit her on the shoulder like she's an idiot.
That's why he's like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
How about you give us all 3 potions and 3 pouches?
Yeah, 3 pouches.
3 pouches is a little too much. It'll throw up a red flag. 2 is the best I can give. I tell you what, 100 gold, all three of the potions. I just need this gone.
It's like, okay, we'll do that.
Okay, all right.
Voquis, pay the man.
Okay. So,
Gets
I'll pay the
100
man.
gold from you?
Yeah.
Okay, he takes 100 gold. He brings out a little paper, and it shows 2 pouches. It shows like a little invoice, and he's like, okay, sign right here, please.
And then I'm going to sign in with his own name. I'm just going to come up with a fake name.
Oh, not his name.
No,
You're not
just
okay. I thought I was like, wait a minute, you're gonna sign Dorphil on his own. Yeah. Give me a dexterity check to see how well if he notices that you're fumbling with this.
13.
13. The 13, you start to go slow and you're trying to be methodical, and he even kind of notices and is watching your hand go to see if you're actually trying to forge, and it doesn't seem like you're trying to forge. And as you finish, okay, well, thanks. And he puts that scroll in his pocket and he goes, all right. Hands over the 2 pouches, gives you guys the 2 health potions, and goes
And the
back around
potion of
front,
invisibility.
and the potion of invisibility. And he goes, all right, well,
Oh, wait. Are you interested in buying as well?
I Does she know how to barter? That's not really how we do things. You bought things from me. Wouldn't you have done this beforehand?
She's
Very confused. Why don't you go ahead? Just go. You're gonna start making some people look at me.
Dang it.
Next Tuesday.
As we leave, can I try to like slide a hand to drop him in his little area?
No! No!
Absolutely.
Absolutely not!
Try to sleight of hand drop the bag of goodies out in public.
Just the little cocaine thing.
One of the two bags. You're gonna just drop on the ground.
Both of them?
I'm gonna inside his little shop.
Like, are you trying to empty the bag or just drop it?
Just like it fell off my pocket.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
Would that be
It'll be a sleight of hand check.
Which is...
I would have taken one of the bags.
No, he gave both the bags to you, so we'll say that you gave one bag to
okay,
Ava as well,
fine.
so you have a bag.
That's gonna be less than 5.
Less than 5.
Yep.
So you go to drop the bag, and as he was walking you guys out, he actually... Well, I'm gonna see real quick. Oh, absolutely. He reaches down quickly before he even touches the ground, grabs the bag, and then... you dropped this.
I was like, oh no!
I'll take that for you, Ava.
He is eyeing you up and down. Now he's really worried that... Okay, if you guys could just leave, that'd be great. You... Go.
Okay.
Actually, I'm here only on Wednesdays. As you guys are leaving, trying to persuade. Anything else you want to do?
I'm considering giving those drugs to the guards. Be like, hey, this undesirable forced this on us in our innocence.
You can give your own bag to the guards.
Huh.
I'm gonna go back.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna go back into the cart and do a little dippy with my finger.
As they come out, Elrick's just talking to the bison or the horse or whatever, just like
horse,
just conversing with it, kind of like real simple, like. And I go, oh, hey, what's up, guys?
You're not gonna believe what we bought.
What'd you get?
She bought drugs.
Voquis, drugs are bad, okay?
Okay, so
you give her a little finger
wag. You got the little finger wave. No. All right, so you guys both have a bag, and you get back in the cart and start making your way. Stop me if there is something that you guys are wanting to do. I'm just gonna keep going.
I'm taking the drugs. I didn't.
So you're gonna do a quick dip. All right, so you take a quick dip of it. You slide it in between your teeth. Kind of run your tongue across your teeth, and you feel a sensation kind of rush over you as the colors begin to brighten, and things don't slow down, but you feel as if the world is clear, and you all of a sudden really know how to Gloomstalker really well. Like, you're just so confident. You feel this rush of just, I could be invincible.
Is my hangover gone?
Yeah. Oh, it's gone. It is. You are awake and ready to go. It's like somebody gave you a stim pack right to your chest. You're like, whoa!
Is Ava in the cart with me?
Mm-hmm. Ava is in the cart.
I'm going to sleight of hand her bag.
Do you want to be resistant of that?
I'll just be like, take it, you filthy junkie.
So her pupils have widened. And it seems to be she's a little bit more twitchy as she's looking around, and as you guys are starting to pass by the guards, you put up your hood and start acting real paranoid. You're like, are they looking at me? They're not looking at me, am I? You start freaking out just a little bit. So you guys make your way out of the gates. There's the normal amount of guards. Right outside, there's as well. It seems to be that there is a festival coming. Tents are starting to go up on the right and left side, seeming there's a lot of roadies and people with face paints running around, kids outside excited, and a lot of people at work. They're building structures, looks like temporary structures like you would see at a festival. So this just seems to be the start, and you guys pass on by, wave at a couple people as they're doing hard at work. You do see one person. Go ahead if... one person can give me advantage check, or all three of you can roll separately. It's up to you.
Perception?
One person roll perception with advantage, or all three of you roll separately. How do you want to do it? Make a decision. Quick.
Roll. All three roll.
All right, go.
That's a bad decision.
That's bad.
Bad decision.
Bad news bears.
Perception, 20.
20.
Oh, good.
Voquis?
9.
9.
7.
7.
I'm busy stirring
with
this.
the combined perception, you guys, as it's coming up, you, Ava, you first notice this, but as you're getting closer, you guys will see this as well. I'm just going to explain at the same time. There is a old female human, but it is appearingly old, but some parts of her look very, very young. She is dressed like a clown. Her face is quite scary, with what seems to have prosthetics of goblinoid on her, hold up by different pieces of string to make herself look pretty crazy. She has gray hair and brown eyes and soft chocolate skin. She has a very oblong, attractive face, but obviously with the pieces that are on her face, it does make her look a bit more goblinish. But you see through this guise pretty quick.
Does she have a tight bod?
She has a tight body, yes. She is pouring water into cups as your guys' cart comes by, and she looks right and sees Elrick, and she just this big smile comes across her face, and then realizes, oh, he's looking right at me, and I have all this goblin stuff on, like immediately cowers and looks and pours a couple more cups, and her hand's shaking and the water's going everywhere. Then she tries to grab one of the cups and knocks over the rest of the cups. She just stops, looks over, realizes that you've been staring at her this whole time, and walks right behind the tent. And you guys just keep going.
Yep.
Do we see any cultists around, or are they, like, all gone?
So, from what happened with what you guys had experienced, a couple days have passed. The cultists that were there spreading their word, when you guys came back, Nathaniel took over. He went to all the political leaders, explained the situation of what you guys experienced, and they ran out all the cultists.
Okay.
What you guys did not experience was the very forcible ousting of anyone that even appeared to be a cultist.
That's good.
There were people that were on those little bricks talking to everyone. They banned that in the public. People are not allowed to have that freedom of speech that is anything that's to be even partially hive mind or gods in general. The marketplace is now filled with nothing but market. There is no more religion allowed in the main area. So everything hit the fan when you guys came back, but you were in quarantine for a full 24, and Nathaniel went crazy, and he pulled his punches and made sure to run out everything.
See, that's the Nate Daddy I want to see.
Well, you guys missed that. You were kind of in quarantine.
Dang it. Next
And you
time
didn't ask him anything about it, so...
Next time we gotta sneak out of quarantine, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you guys obviously could have done that.
We should have done that.
You guys are riding along. You saw that it could be a few miles. It could be more. You're not quite sure. But remember, at nighttime, you and a few other people saw this. So you don't feel too crazy, but you know some kind of light landed over in this direction. You're heading east. More and more that you leave, you're getting about to the 2-mile mark, and you're starting to think, I think this is about some kind of direction. The amount of people that are on the road have diminished greatly. The direction that you think that you're going to need to take is off the beaten path. And it's not a path that you're going to be able to take your cart with you. You can try, but it might be advantageous for you guys to find a place to put it. What was your question?
You're gonna have to edit this out.
Sure.
I thought I heard something, but I think I was just having a stroke. So it's okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm keeping that in.
I'm just having a stroke. It's cool.
It's cool, guys. Verbal
Don't mind me.
Gribbles, Batman's in
Like,
bikinis. So what you guys see to your right, the direction that you feel that it was coming from, it's a nice wooded area. It's not super dense. It's where the tops of the trees are quite full, but you can see a good 80 to 120 feet back into the forest. And it just seems to be a normal forest, but it's not wide enough or a path. You guys are just going to have to trek your way there if that's the direction you want to go.
So I'll look at them and I say, well, to me it feels like it would probably be a bad idea to take the cart here. I mean, it's a forest. We don't know what's out there. We could easily lose a wheel, easily lose our beasts. And to be honest, in my past experience, I've heard stories of similar, goblins using paths like this to ambush people and maybe, take them to their hideout. I've heard stories in another time, but I think we should leave the cart here and go on foot.
Is there a place where we can tie up the cart?
Sure. I mean, there's plenty of trees around. You could easily tie up the cart, put the horse to the tree, if that's something you want to do.
Okay. But so they have enough space to graze and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, there is large amounts of fields to your right. You are at the edge where the forest really begins. So the road goes alongside of the forest, but Ava feels that it was somewhere in the forest where it was dropped.
Okay.
Where the light actually ended.
I'll pull this over then.
Okay. You
Tie up the beast.
You tie up the horse. The horse, just has its deal. You have
Give it a
plenty of
treat.
food. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
There's some water, too, just in case we're gone for a while.
Yeah.
Get kidnapped or something.
Has plenty of food and places to chill, so it's good. There's really nothing in the cart that you guys had, so just leaving the cart there.
Except for
Hopefully
the drugs.
It's there.
The drugs are coming with me.
The drugs are going with you.
The drugs are coming with me.
Yeah, there you go. So, Ava, I need you to give me a survival check.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you guys had a ranger with you or something?
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
that'd
a 14.
14. With a 14, you know you can actually turn around and look back at Waterdeep. And you see where the hill where your inn is at. You can barely make out, but you can see it. And you realize, all right, well, I just need to keep heading this way, probably within a little bit of a walk.
I communicate that to the peeps.
Okay. You guys begin to walk through the forest in that direction. It is a beautiful day out. What's the walking order?
I'm gonna go first.
No,
Okay.
I'm going first because this is a forest and it's my favorite terrain.
It is hers. That is correct.
I'll
You
take
sound
up the
like a
rear.
Pokemon.
This is my favorite.
This is my favorite.
Or that one Yu-Gi-Oh episode where terrain pluses matter,
Yeah.
even though they don't.
I don't know that.
Only Yu-Gi-Oh kids would understand.
Fun facts for the viewers.
All right, so Voquis, you're up front. Ava, you're middle. Elrick pulling up the rear.
Yep.
Okay, you guys make it through without any problems, making your way, making good time. It's not slow at speed or anything in that nature. All three of you, go ahead and give me a perception check. With advantage.
I get
yeah,
advantage on
you
this
do.
one.
Yeah, you do. I'm looking for one full
19.
number. So 19.
For perception,
Yep.
19.
19. Okay.
24.
Nice. Okay.
Holy badonk.
With that total
Holy
perception, and as you guys are walking along, you start to notice by putting your hands around the trees and really checking the different types of barks and looking for tracks, you actually see that there are a couple of what seems to be humanoid. Yeah, you licked the tree. I gained knowledge. You see that there is some humanoid feet going in the direction that you're heading. And then the feet kind of get muddled and another set of tracks, but there's a lot of mud here. It's not... Normally when you're stepping in mud, it seems to give a perfect indentation. It seems like somebody's trying to cover the tracks. The way that it is mushed in the way that you're going.
Can I try and identify what kind of tracks they were?
You know that they're humanoid, but
I,
you could absolutely do a survival to see if there's more information.
Could I also do that to see how old the
Give
tracks
her
are?
advantage, really.
Okay.
'Cause you're,
Oh yeah,
I'll give
and
her
the
advantage.
You
forage.
forgot already?
19.
19. It seems like there is a large type of wolf track. There's a couple of human feet as well as a wolf-like paw. So you guys make your way through, and
Really
you're
counts
coming
as
up to a
tiny.
clearing. Mind you, you can see up to 120 feet through the trees with your natural eyesight.
What time is it?
Midday. Yep, it is
Am I still
1 p.m.
tweaking?
Yeah, you are tweaking. The forest seems to talk to you. This is your favorite location, and you're tweaking. You are seeing leaves fall that, oh, wow. Like some leaves shoot down to the ground, bounce off, and go right back up to the tree where it was. You're like, what is happening?
Guys, I've got a really good feeling about this place. This place is awesome.
This is
We should come
weird.
back here all the time.
You're talking, your head starts to twitch a bit, but just for your knowledge, what you've taken is a small amount. You will start to feel the effects wear off soon.
Okay.
So
I could teach
you're
you
making your way up, but you see the clearing, and you see some stone. It seems to be large boulders and some other things. It's hard to make out for how far you are. but you do see the outline of a couple people up that way. You are about 120 feet before the end of the trees, and then another 60 before you get to what you're seeing. You can see this because it's beautiful out. What do you guys want to do as you get closer?
So, I'm going to look over to Voquis and be like, hey, so you're a rogue, right? So this might... A rogue. A ranger. I mean, I don't know what you are. You act like both.
Very true.
All of a sudden in the city, you're like, oh, misty shadows, blah, blah. Out here, you're like, oh, nature, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you are.
She's everything, man.
Do you maybe want to... So I'm looking at you, like, doing your little tweak. I'm like, never mind. Elrick, you're one of those wood forest persons, right?
Yeah,
You want to
can say that.
Look around, sniff, lick the dirt, whatever you people do.
I'm gonna.
Kindred of the forest.
Well, they're
Yeah, I can do
distracted.
that.
I'm gonna stealth ahead.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth roll then, if that's actually what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're stealing
Are you
from us?
Just
not
stealth-
from you? She's moving ahead, but
I'm
stealthing.
assuming you wanted me to stealth. I was trying to complete your senses in my head.
I will.
Ooh.
Before you roll, two things. With the
Why are
forest
you
being
like
this
this?
way, you can see them. If you don't begin stealthing now, they will have the ability, if they look, see you guys. So this might be a good chance to do anything if you have something to help with stealth.
Like, for example, a special cloak.
Yeah, maybe if there's a cloak
Or, like-
that gave you advantage on stealth rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, just boo,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna stealth up. What are you guys doing? It might as well
After
be.
our experience, I'll start stealthing as well.
You're gonna stealth? Okay, go ahead and give me stealth rolls.
Okay, do I get to redo that then?
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll let you do. You rolled 1,
Yeah.
so just roll 1 more dice. you tried.
I tried. 15.
Okay.
7. I'm not actually moving as
You just-
fast, up with her.
You're
I'm
trying to
just
do half
kinda-
speed.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
just half speed.
Ava, what are you doing?
Hanging back a little bit behind her.
I mean, there's no point in me stealthing because I have heavy armor.
You can still stealth.
It'll just be
They have to
I
at a
mean-
disadvantage, right?
It's a disadvantage. You'll probably roll better than Elrick, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
You rolled a 7.
3.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 4.
Nice.
As you, Elrick and Avalot, start to work your way up, you go through some of the loudest brush and twigs you could possibly find. It sounds like you're marching through glass, just every kind of snapping and crackling as you're trying to be stealthy, but it's not very good.
I smack my head on a branch.
Even with that, as you look, you make about a good 30 feet up. They hadn't turned around. They are and now that you're getting closer, they are very intently checking out whatever structure that is up there. You make it up without a problem. You make a full 60 feet through the woods, no sound. Even if they were to look around, they probably wouldn't have seen you. Do you guys want to keep moving your way up?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving just normally though.
All right.
I'll go normally too. There's
All
no
right.
point.
Go. If you're just going normally, do you want to take, in the full sense, go your full 60 feet and get to the edge of the clearing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, for the brevity of time, you go ahead and give me. If you're going to keep stealthing,
Well,
give me
yeah,
another stealth
I have
roll.
a question though.
Okay.
So for every stealth check, it uses up a charge.
Yes.
Wait, no, 8. It's an 8.
It's an 8. Even with that, you come around one tree. Your hand starts to go up as you get close, and you feel like there's a heartbeat in the tree, and you just move your hand up and down the tree, and then all of a sudden you're just engulfed in the tree. You don't even worry about the people. You're just like, this tree is talking to me. And you guys make it to the edge of the clearing. It seems that they haven't seen you yet, somehow. I don't even know
So, like,
how.
up there.
So you are 60 feet from. All three of you notice that there is a structure that seems to appear like a gateway. It's made of stone. It seems, unlike the surrounding areas, it seems like there is burnt ground in a circular formation around from where this gateway arch is. The gateway arch itself has strange writing that you can see at this distance. It has some type of writing, and there's objects fused into the stone. these two humanoids are feeling and touching and talking to each other. They're touching the rock and then writing in books, and they're looking at it. They pay no attention that people are coming up. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to pop a bolt in my crossbow.
Okay.
Just for safety.
Absolutely. You ready a crossbow bolt?
Okay.
Okay. What would you like to do, Agalot?
I am going to firmly grasp Voquis and say, can I borrow that rock that lets you read things?
I don't got that thing. That's what Elrick has.
Can I borrow it, Elrick?
Yes. And
So I do the thing, clip it, and look at the stone.
Okay. Even at this range, it's not a discernible language.
Okay.
It's not writing as in letters and words, and it does not seem to have any type of written purpose, but there is a unified carving system, but it is not a written language. So you've got the bow up, the crossbow up,
Right.
and you're aiming at them?
I'm not like aiming at them, but I got like
You have it at the
slightly
ready?
pointed up,
Oh, okay.
So that I just like whip it out and
Sure. Do you guys approach in any type of manner?
normal manner for me.
I'm
Okay.
gonna like take my
The hood down?
hood down.
Sure.
Do I still like look creaky?
This is at this time enough time has passed that it's starting to move out. Your neck actually hurts a lot,
Ooh.
and muscles that you've been not really used recently kind of are a little bit sore, and you're really thirsty. Is there anything you would like to say? You make your way all the way up 20 feet from them. Is there anything you would like? They are intently writing in their books.
Okay. So I will scream in a, I'll say, intimidating manner. It's like, you! Who are you and what are you doing here?
Roll intimidation.
It's going to be an 18.
An 18. Both what you see is as you've gotten closer with your passive perception and as you have intimidated, you see a a male mountain dwarf on the right, and on the left you see just a humanoid. The dwarf is actually pretty thin. He has a large beard, but he doesn't have the body of a dwarf where they're fat and stout. He's very, very thin. Both of them turn around and look at you and cower in a way that is strange because they haven't said anything. They just kind of put their books away and just look at you and just stare. The breeze passes through the trees. It's a beautiful day out.
Okay,
I wave my hand. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? What are you doing?
We're looking at this seemingly new formation. Is your friend going to hurt us?
No, she's harmless.
No, she's not. And I like put my hand to like
He
push the crossbow out of her hands.
The human kind of gets slowly behind the stone a bit, kind of pulling cover, moving very slow.
Okay, at that point, I shove you up and say, don't move. Who are you?
He immediately stops when you yell at him. It's still fearful of his life from your intimidation. I'm just a procurer. Both of us. This is my assistant. We are out here looking at what we saw last night. This. Please don't hurt us.
Okay. Are you from a cult? Who are you associated with?
I'm a freelance procurer. Things happen. I get hired. And I procure what they ask me to.
Maybe he was
Who hired you?
by Nathaniel.
One of the lords. Who are you to be asking that question?
Okay, at that point, I make another pretty aggressive grunt at that question.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and make
I'm asking the questions here.
Go ahead and make a second intimidation check. I'm going to have to roll against
14.
this. The humanoid stands up from the cowering position, and a bit of anger flashes across his face, and his hand goes behind his back and goes, "Don't talk to me in that tone. I don't even know you." But the dwarf cowers behind the stone.
And I'll be like, you must be aware of all the disappearings and shady goings that have been happening around here. How can I know you're not one of the cultists?
Cultist? I told you who are you, and why do you have your weapon? Lower your weapon.
Eva, put it down.
Okay, I'll put it down.
As you lower the weapon, that's better. That's better.
What do you
brings out his hand. Nothing was in his hand. He goes back to looking over at his dwarf friend and says, it's okay. You can come back out now. And he just kind of nods and pulls out the book, and he goes, yeah, you can go back to work. That's fine. I'll take care of this. And he just starts drawing and writing and taking out a bit of chalk and ripping out a paper and then rubbing the chalk over the different markings, taking imprints. And it seems, unless you guys want to roll insight, it seems to be on the up and up of what they're doing. That's up to you.
I'll roll insight.
Okay, go for it.
16.
With the 16, you believe that what the humanoid is telling you is truthful, that they are there to do work. Something is off about the way that he presented his hand back from his back.
Can I try it?
Sure. I'll let you do that.
Never mind.
What are you trying to get first, specifically?
The whole hand thing.
Okay, yeah. What'd you roll?
I got a 13.
A 13. You're trying to see if there's something off about it. You know what? Even through your anger, you don't. It's probably just normal to you.
I'm gonna quietly approach.
Okay.
Can I make a nature check on the arch to see if any of the runes pertain to like nature?
It would be an Arcana check.
Or Arcana check.
Yep.
That tool.
Nice.
13.
13. You feel a magical source of power coming off of this. It wasn't apparent when you walked up, but the last 5 seconds, something is beginning to emanate. And as your time of feeling this presence and doing a check, it seems to be growing.
Guys, there's something's about to happen, and I step back to the group.
As you step back, the dwarf immediately just goes, starts waving his hands and snapping his fingers. The human looks over at the dwarf, and he's pointing at the rock, going, trying to say something. The human immediately just says, everyone stand back, something's happening. As you guys probably step back, and maybe not. What do you guys, are you staying there?
Stand back.
I'm gonna step back another 10.
I want
Okay.
to go behind the rock. How big are those rocks?
They're about 5 feet tall.
I'm going to go behind it. Like in between the
between
tree and the
us.
rocks.
Right there.
As you're looking and perceiving, please, all three of you give me a perception check.
Nice.
21.
21. Nice.
21.
21.
17.
Nice. Okay. 2 things are happening simultaneously. This archway, where those little indentations are beginning to glow in a light green color, starting from the base. You feel power starting to emanate, but it's an oppressive feeling against your chest, as if there is a
Bad
force.
magic?
You can't ascertain whether it's bad or good, but it's a force, a presence being pushed against, as if something is emanating from it. As this begins to emanate, the human and the dwarf, you see with a 21, the dwarf specifically, his nails begin to just jut out in sharp claws about 3 to 4 inches from his hand. And he just lets out this, ah! The human, you see a flash of the lower side of his jaw begin to just go white and then back into the human. They then move in opposite directions away from, if you can move them about 15 feet, one left and one to the right. So the other one's going to the tree. And as they run away, the claws retract, the face goes back to normal. The human turns around at you and lets out this is your doing. You shouldn't have come over here. And drops the illusion across his face, and immediately fur begins to protrude out from his the middle of his jaw, along his back, and he begins to transform right in front of your eyes. At this time, go ahead and roll me initiative.
I told you, you guys never go with what I'm doing. You're the trustworthy, like, ooh, you're so nice. Peasants.
Peasants.
I got an 8.
An 8? Okay, well, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be writing this stuff down.
Do I get an advantage on initiatives?
I don't know. Do you, Ava? Do you, Elrick? Do you, Voquis? There we go. 1 out of 3.
Who are you?
Who are you? Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
All right, so Avila, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Okay. Voquis?
11.
Okay. And Elrick, what'd you get, bud?
17.
Oh, damn.
Wow, nicely done.
Get a girl.
Okay, and for our 2 friends, as initiative begins, this human begins transforming into this grotesque. The body, the legs begin to extend into what you can only imagine is some type of werewolf. The arm and the fur begin protruding out, the skin ripping off, shedding it like a snake, and it falls to the ground and then dissipates around in some type of magical form. It begins to just let out this roar.
Can I ask a question?
As the human changes, you hear another roar from the right over the tree. You weren't even looking, but the dwarf changed as well. It does not have the skin around its feet as the human does, and as it transforms, it is the same height and almost an exact copy. The human is then going to look at you. It can really only see Voquis very well. Can't really see Avalot, but knows she's back there. So he's going to rush directly up to Voquis.
None of us had magic.
Werewolf-ish thing runs up to you and looks directly into your eyes and lets out this right into your eyes, not breaking any type of eye contact at all, and it is casting sleep gaze upon you.
Ooh.
It gazes at you within a 30 feet, and you must make a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
Do I get
Wisdom saving throw.
advantage
Nope.
on that because I'm on the forest? No, okay. Oh, I
Just want advantage
rolled
on everything.
20.
20. You feel this daze, sleepiness come over you, kind of like the drugs you just took, but then you stand firm and shake it off, and the howl is still going on, and then he realizes mid-howl, ooh, it's not working. And so then it's going to jump back with a bit of speed, 10 feet back, and then ready its stance, and you get an attack of opportunity on it.
Okay. So,
This is the first hit of the first round, so you do
Right.
get ambush.
right.
Give it a good slash.
Natural 20.
Roll that damage.
So I would double that D8 because that's a dice,
Yes, you
right?
will. Yeah. So roll the regular damage, 2 of those, then roll 2 D8s. What's that total?
So that's 9. So that's 19.
Plus your modifier.
3 is 24. Right? No,
No,
22.
22. With 22, this wolf ran up to you, tried, and immediately, as it realizes that this is not working, you bring out your scimitar, and with such speed, you bring it from the belly up to its chin and give it a nice gouging. As it's jumping back, you give it a good slice. There is a lot of blood protruding from the body, and that is its turn. Next up is Elrick. What do you got, buddy?
I'm going to concentrate as a bunch of blue flowers start to bloom around me.
Okay.
And it grants +2 to our AC to anyone
Okay.
within the field. Which would be
You
everyone.
you make a bed of blue, beautiful flowers protrude from you in a 20-foot radius, and everyone feels bolstered by the mere beauty of these flowers, giving you 2 AC to each of you. That's good.
My AC
Well
is
done.
now 20.
Voquis,
Nice.
you're up. Your actual turn is up. And
Didn't
then
you get a 17?
I got a 7.
Oh, never mind then.
I had the 17.
Ava, you were last after the second werewolf's turn. Just be on
Okay.
deck.
So after feeling my surge of confidence
Yeah.
with that,
Dusting that
awesome-
off.
Yeah, just kind of like getting the muscles out a little bit after the drugs I took. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll just go up to it and I'm gonna slash at it with my scimitar again.
Absolutely. Go. You rush up and swing away.
Yeah, so 10 feet and then swing. Oh yeah, baby. That is a 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
24 to hit.
I think that would hit the big bad too.
And then that is 7 damage. So I'm gonna poke it where I've already made a wound to make
Okay.
it hurt a little bit more.
Absolutely. And it's like a stabbing motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just stab and it goes a good 3 inches deep, straight in the abdomen, right where that slash, kind of like a zipper from the chin down. And it just goes in and you pull it out and a bit of gush and there just lets out this huge roar. But as he roars, it gushes out as well. It's looking rough. Looking rough. Next up is Where 2. So Where 2 is going to get down on all fours and rush over to Avalot. And is going to make a bite attack. 2 of them on Avalot.
2.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Wow. Okay.
I think you're out of the bed, though.
That's awesome. So does a
You're out of
9
the
or a
bag, I
6 hit?
Nope.
Okay. So as this werewolf is coming towards you, it's kind of getting caught. It doesn't seem to know its own speed, so it kind of trips over
It
itself.
took some drugs
and
too.
then it should have. And then all of a sudden it hits its front claw, does a somersault, and all of its speed is lost and tries to swipe, but it seems like a baby is doing this. Like a baby would attack, not knowing how to operate its own skin. Something seems off about this. And that is its turn. Avalon, it's up to you.
I'm just gonna attack it with my sword.
Okay, you're gonna attack Where 2. All right.
That's gonna be a 9.
9 does not hit, and you swing back a bit of like, what is going on? And it just whiffs.
With my bonus action. No, that's not it.
Okay. Back up to the top, Where 1 is going to bite with 2 bites against you, Voquis, as you're right in front of him, and he is feeling rough.
Go for it.
Wowskis. Okay. Does a 10 hit or a 9?
Neither.
So, feeling this blood rushing out, he's going to go down on all fours and try to snap down on your neck. But as he comes down with both legs, not realizing, some of his innards start to protrude through that nice big slice, and he just, instead of trying to bite, he's using his hands to keep himself into, and he just kind of looks at you in utter pain. There's pain and distraught in his eyes, as he will then begin to move back and use the rest of his movement to run, which he has, I'm going to say, 15 feet. You do get an opportunity attack as he runs away.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is an 18.
18 hits. Roll it up.
Okay. Ooh, that is 9 damage.
9 damage. Ooh, you are just hacking on this guy.
So as he's running away, I'm gonna be like, no, we're not done yet, and like aim for his throat.
No.
No.
Yeah, you hack and slash and make another. It doesn't make for his throat as he is turned walking away, but you slash up his right and left shoulder and right across, and it just, more blood starts to spill out and lets out another howl, but he then limps that 15 feet away. Next up, is Elrick, and then Voquis, your turn's up after that, so.
Hold on.
On deck. Yeah, if you get outside of it, you lose that AC bonus.
Okay. So am I considered outside of it?
No. I'm gonna let you be in it. That's
Okay.
fine. It's a 20.
If you're in
think
the
of it
tiny,
not as like a.
foot of this.
Yeah, it's not a perfect circle. It's all of these petals are rushing out, so it's like the bottom of a tree. He is the trunk. All of these flowers are not making a perfect circle. So that right there, a bit of the strands of flowers come out and they're touching your foot. So you're gaining that.
I'm gonna scooch over.
Okay.
Tap my staff on the ground.
Do it
as
big.
A little gust of wind comes up and forms into a little fireball. Produce flame, shooting it at the dwarf werewolf.
Okay, absolutely. Shooting at the dwarf.
You don't have to do a hit.
19.
19 hits, roll that damage.
That's a massive 1 damage.
1 damage. And this fireball produces the top of your staff and flings. It kind of does a spiral before it hits the side of his jaw, and it just clocks him. It doesn't do as much damage as it normally would, but it's like a heavy right hook, and the whole bottom of his jaw and all of his fur is scorched. He does take that damage. Voquis, you're up.
Okay.
DM.
I noticing that I'm about to leave the safety of Elrick's spell. I'm gonna like quickly stow my scimitar and
Okay.
pull out my longbow.
Okay. Knocking an arrow, letting that baby fly.
13.
13 does hit.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna hit him, and
Roll that damage.
that is 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. Nicely done.
I'm aiming because he's facing away from me, right?
Yeah.
I'm aiming for the base of his skull.
Okay, so you shoot, and it does seem to penetrate on the lower right side. It goes through part of his neck, and he just lets out this squeal, just as it is. He's being pelted by you this entire time.
Yeah.
He's
Piggy.
trying to run away, and this arrow sticking in him, he definitely takes a knee and just turns around, huffing and puffing. And it goes to Where To. So Where To is going to move over to, as he sees all this beautiful colors coming from, he's going to move to Elrick. And as he's moving away, Ava, you get an opportunity attack, and he's going to take 2 bite attacks against poor little Elrick.
Natural 1.
A natural 1. You look left as Voquis is just doing work on this, and you start to get mesmerized to the point that you swing, but you don't even really look. And you completely miss that one. But Elrick does an 18 or an 8 hit.
No. Or 18 does, yeah.
18 does hit?
Say.
Wow.
What are you
18
wearing?
just
Crazy.
hits. Just barely. I'm a
You
shield.
take 6 piercing damage as his claw begins to form one claw, and he just gutters that into your belly and then brings it back out. Gutters. I'm just making up words. That is his turn. Ava, you're up.
I would like to move out to the other werewolf and kind of hold him.
This one?
I got this. As she runs past me,
Right
I
here?
got
Yeah,
this.
that's fine.
You want this?
I kind of, as you do that, as you run, I kind of look at you and I say, "Don't you think if he was gonna die, he should have been dead by now?"
I got this.
Got this.
So I'm gonna grab. So if I have my silver sword, right?
Yep.
Can I kind of like grab him on with it, and that give me an advantage?
You want to grab your own sword and pull it
Right.
across his chest,
'Cause then it'll burn into
but
his chest.
wide, not angled.
No, wide.
Oh yeah, that absolutely. That's an advantage. Give me. It's going to be a grapple, not an attack.
Right, it'll be a grapple.
Yeah.
It's supposed to like really keep him in there.
Yeah. Give that good.
It's gonna be
Don't cheat.
Right?
Can I use athletics?
For
No, that's
this,
a
it's going to be
gonna be
strength.
strength? Okay.
Yeah, it's not going
That's
to be an
still 20.
athletics. Still a soft 20.
Yeah.
You with ease, as this monster has been pelted and constantly, you know that there's wear and tear. This blood is real. It is not an illusion. You bring the sword around his chest and you pull it, and it begins to sizzle across the chest. You bring the sword across, and as kind of like you would lay down
Right.
something long from the short end to the long, you bring it across the chest, the sizzling begins, and as you bring it to your second hand and pull it across his chest, it then begins to melt into his chest with such ease, it's like cutting butter. And then you bring it across, and all the way to your chest, you've cut his upper torso in half. And this guttural starts, and then as it breaks through the halfway point, he just goes limp. And it's basically like a hot iron through skin.
Right.
The top torso falls forward. He's dead. Good job.
Something told me he was like sort of been dead a while, but he couldn't die from just regular weapons.
So it brings it back up. Where one is now dead. Elrick, you're up. Voquis, you're next. You've got this werewolf in your face. You're bleeding from the gut.
I'm going
He
to
is.
switch back and provoke the opportunity attack.
Okay.
And then another produce
natural 20. You can look if you want. Okay.
You're in danger.
I'm in danger.
Maybe someone should
You
have gone
take
after
6
the other
piercing. As you're moving away, he is able to catch the side of your rib and slice really deep. He's meant to pierce through your body, but you somehow make it away with enough speed.
And then I'm going to tap my staff and a little shard of ice appears.
Ooh.
I'm going to toss an ice knife at him as it sharpens. And
Okay, is it a dex save?
So it's a ranged spell attack, and then it's a dex save
Okay.
as well.
I'm going to have to roll a dex save regardless, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the save is 14.
He fails. He rolled a 13, so you're gonna get full damage as long as you hit as well.
I hit as well. I'm assuming a 24 hits.
24 hits.
Or,
Yeah.
No. 23.
Oh
bad.
yeah. These guys don't really have armor. They're just
Well, fur.
fur. They don't have any gear. They shapeshifted.
So it's going to take 5 on the 5 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then
This is from the shatter now.
and then 6 cold damage from the shatter.
Nicely done. So you jump back and he's able to take a good chunk out of your torso, but right as you land, you bring down your staff and this icicle, large at the base but really thin at the front, begins to slam into him right in the middle of his chest and explodes and rips a whole chunk out of his chest, and he is bleeding profusely and just lets out this horrible, nasty, just gurgle as you tore into his lungs, and he is just hurting. He takes a knee and is starting to look a little bit dazed. That is your turn.
And then as
Voquis,
a
you're
bonus
up.
action, I'm going to bellow at him, be like, "Rah!"
I'm gonna turn around and I'm going to fire an arrow at
Okay.
Mr. Dwarf.
Roll it up.
Yeah, that hits. It's like 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Let's consult with the DM. DM?
Damn. Does it?
It hits.
So that's 9 damage.
9
and I'm
damage.
aiming for his legs to get him like down.
Okay. You shoot, and this arrow rips through his right leg to the point that it goes through his kneecap, busting his kneecap, and he just falls as the right leg is now limp. He is immobile, and he is now prone.
Okay.
And he's
then
still alive.
5, 10, 15, 20. And then I want to get close to Elrick.
And this is now Where 2. Where 2 is now going to use the rest of his movement to slowly try to crawl away. He's going to make it 10 feet, use all of his movement, and he is going to use his action then to change his form, and he's going to look back to you and say, first off, what you see is he goes from a werewolf to this slithering, silver-skinned, no-nose, very amphibious-like looking creature. He looks wet to the touch. And he says, just don't kill me, please. I'll do anything. And that's his turn. Next up is Ava.
As he's down, I'm going to pull out my sword and touch it against his face, see if it burns him again.
Okay.
And then do an intimidation and say, I'll spare your life if you tell us everything.
Okay, so I'm not going to have you roll for the attack since you're just touching it against
Right.
his face, but I need you to roll for intimidation. So you bring the sword, and you bring the last couple inches of the sword, touch it against his skin, his wet-looking skin, and it doesn't burn.
That's a 10.
And he goes, what are you doing? Wait.
10.
10. You try this intimidation as you speak to him, but I may be weak, but I'm not dead. And that's really your action to intimidate,
Right.
your movement. That's it for you. Back up to Elrick, and then Voquis, you're next.
I'm going to crouch real low, and I'm going to ask him what exactly they're doing there, and we'll spare his life if he tells me.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah!
Oh, yeah, my
What you
plus
good
one
at?
persuasion.
Oh yeah!
12.
12.
I have a +6.
He
Should've
looks
used
at
that.
you and says, "There's nothing to tell. I'm here. You're about to kill me. Just finish me." That was your action, your movement, and any bonus actions? Okay, Voquis, you're up.
And so I'm going to persuade him. I'm going to say, I know you really, really want to tell us what's going on there so that we can So that we
explanation I've ever heard. I know he just failed, but you really want to tell. Roll it.
Yeah,
Roll the.
you
Let's see
really
the
wanna
dice
tell
roll
us.
this. I want you to roll really low so it fails, so it's very obvious. But it'd be really funny if you rolled high and it works with you just going. You really want like Jedi Force powers? You want
really.
to tell us? No! No!
19.
Okay. With a 19, he will then respond, I came here just to find the light, but instead all we found was this stupid arch. I came out here to let my master know what I found, and I found this idiot who thought I was his servant, and all I had to do was not speak, and he thought I was a mute. You humans are stupid as can be. But
Who is your master?
You gotta roll higher to know that.
I'll try it. I got a plus 6 to persuasion.
The last thing he is going to tell you is, the only thing that I knew was this light had no force. But as soon as we got here, it was emanating. All I could find out was something otherworldly has placed this here, as has never been here before.
Maybe you can make a spell forge out of it.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so that is Ava's turn. No, sorry, that is Voquis' turn. Ava, you're up.
Guess I'll try to persuade him.
He is bleeding out at this point.
Okay. I'll try to persuade him real quick.
Okay, persuade him
To
again.
do it just for the master part, like who really is. the
Sure,
master.
sure.
I'll basically say, if you tell me, I'll heal you. I
Girl,
promise.
okay, go for it.
I promise.
It's like an 11.
With an 11,
I got a 20 before that. I did this.
with an 11, and as this creature is realizing he doesn't have long to live. Even the most desperate creatures will do things that they never thought they would do. And as the light is beginning to flicker out of his left eye, he begins to feel that death is coming. And he says one last phrase. Just watch out for the family blur. And then he lets out the last breath, and he says that without actually trying to be funny.
Family bleh.
And then the breath leaves him. And he is dead in front of you.
I turned to Ava. Did he say family bleh, or was he like family bleh?
It's like, well, I think it's that family that invited us to the place.
I need everyone to make a... Oh, let's do Constitution saving throw, please. At disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
5.
5. That's a great number.
Is it?
Yeah, it is really good number.
8.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
10.
10. Okay.
Oops.
Wonder what we're saving from.
The smelly fish is probably...
You guys are insanely lucky. Okay,
Fella
so
there.
what has happened as his breath leaves his body? Massive lightning bolt comes from the sky.
Holy shit.
It attaches itself to the top of the arch and hits with such... If you've ever been near a lightning crash, it scares the poop out of you. It is
Yep, it
beyond
did.
loud. But when this attaches itself to the arch, a massive wave of magical energy just pulses out, and it pushes like a small nuclear bomb of energy. And what you're saving against is that pulse. 10 does not save. You take 6 points of damage. You also take 6 points of damage with 5. You save, only taking 3.
I got 8.
Oh, I think you said 18.
Oh, no,
yeah,
I
you
got
take
8.
you take a full 6. All 3 of you are knocked prone. As when you come to and you look around to see what has happened, the entire archway has come alive. The runes and motions are... The arch is moving first. The different squares are starting to spin, as if there's an inner module that's keeping it from moving. Now there's light emanating from each of these squares that make the arch. The pieces that looked like it was molded into it, and it just looked like a hand coming out. It was a rock piece that was covering carving. And as you get closer, unless you don't want to get closer, you guys want to get closer and investigate?
We're prone right now.
Yeah, well, you're not in combat, so don't worry about it.
Get up.
Before
I'm
I
not
go,
gonna
can
get
I do
closer.
an investigation on that creature to see if I can tell what it was?
Sure, absolutely. Roll a history check, and if you guys are going to move up to the arch, make investigation checks.
I'm not
It's
moving
gonna
up
be
to
a
the arch.
15.
15.
looks
It is a
spoopy.
doppelganger that you have known from your past.
I'm gonna fill myself and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Before I do
You
anything.
heal yourself. Go ahead and roll that. That's
Oh,
good.
wait, that's
And Voquis, what are you doing? You moving up?
I'm doing investigation. I get advantage because we're still in the forest, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's in 20. Okay.
Nice. Good roll.
I'm gonna heal myself with my lay on hands on myself.
Okay, good.
Get 5 more.
That's an
Touch
18.
yourself.
Basically.
18.
18. With an 18, as you make your way closer, those nodules that I was talking about that look like protrusions, when the lightning hit, it blasted away all the extra rock. What you see now are playing cards, ornately carved in a way that it looks like marble. Then there's mugs and different pieces of what you would find in an inn jammed into the stone, but it looks like it was carved. So each square has a different feature, from mugs to a small chair, coins. They each have their own type of rune. You will just continue investigating. What do you two do as you guys get closer? Or are you going over there?
I will approach it as well, seeing.
Okay, so you walk over there.
Voquis.
What do you do?
I walk over there and I want to do an insight check on it too.
Okay, as you walk over there, when you get within 10 feet of the gateway, it immediately begins to activate with a portal-like feature from the ground. All of it pulses. As I said, the pieces were moving. They all stop. They clinch together. All the stones, almost lifelike, clinches, causes a portal to come across inside of it. And then it fades, and you see inside. And what you guys see inside, if you want, I can use your perception checks or your passive perceptions, or you can roll for it.
I'm gonna roll.
I'm
Okay.
gonna roll for it.
Go ahead and roll separately.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Well done. I think it's your first one tonight.
Wait, for perception?
Perception, you get advantage.
6.
6.
I'm still bleeding a little bit. I'm like, oh, ow, God. Not
21.
even paying attention to
21.
this portal.
Nicely done, guys.
The Stargate, if you will.
Even with the 6, is that what you got, Elrick?
Yes.
Okay, even with the 6, what you're seeing is you can tell as you look around to the right side, right behind it, there's nothing back there. What you are looking into is some other worldly place. And what you see inside, you can't hear anything, but you see a lively tavern. 3 bartenders behind a bar. This place looks lively as hell. This place is merry. People are singing on tables. Drinks are being tossed around. There's even a small person hanging from the rafter. It seems like there is just a fantastical
Little people.
time happening inside this portal. You can't hear any of it, but that's what you visually see. With a natural 20, you see a small shine in the back right corner with a man that has his hood up, and he is holding what looks like the shard that's in your pocket. And he's turning it in his hand, and then he looks over at you and makes eye contact. With a 21, you do not see the man, but you specifically see, oh, there's someone in there that looks quite attractive.
Ooh.
It catches your eye to the point that you can't look away.
Tilda.
This person looks back at you longingly and asking you to please come in.
I do. Like, unless someone's gonna stop me, Voquis just gonna go in
I'll
there.
let you go.
I'll let you go.
Okay, so you go in. Great.
I'm not going in.
I'm gonna.
Ablet, you're not going in.
I'm waiting to see what happens.
So,
Nightmare
you two
fuel.
go in.
I don't
You're
go in.
staying
I'm,
there?
I'm waiting to
I'm
see
the
what
You're
happens
waiting?
with Voquis.
Great. So you go right through the portal, you push your hand through, and it doesn't feel any difference, except for as your fingers go through it, you feel the warmth of the tavern. It seems lively and hot in there as people are drinking and getting crazy. You push the rest of your hand through, there's no pain. And then you see that one character motioning for you, come in. The words you can't hear, but there's words being spoken as this person is making eye contact with you. Do you push all the way through? Okay. As your ears pass by, you then immediately hear everything. It is unbearably loud. People are having a good time. There's an entire table next to where you're coming in, and they go, hey, more people, another round. You just came through what seemingly looks to them like the outside door. When you look back, it's not a portal. It's a door.
Okay. Some crazy stuff just went down. I love this. So thank you guys so much for being so interactive with us on social media. If you haven't found us already, just look up Saving Arcana, Instagram, Twitter. We'd love to talk to you. Come by and say hello. And most of all, thank you guys. We are just cruising right along. And so from the bottom of our hearts, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to another episode. And we'll see you next time, adventurers. Bye-bye.